to an episode of Food Hunt. Today we are in sunny Cebu. In the next few minutes, we're gonna walk you through the Anzani kitchens, where the heat, the passion, the movement of our restaurant in action is witnessed and captured. And tonight, the food and wine gastronomical pairing of the Anzani Restaurant will showcase Chef Marco Anzani's special creations. With me is Chef Marco Anzani, chef and restaurateur of Anzani Restaurant, and today he is going to grace us with the special ingredients and the recipes and secrets of his special risotto. So what are you going to be making for us today?
Okay, hi to all of you, and of course to be in Italia we need actually to present to you a great risotto. What better to have a porcini mushroom risotto with a little bit twist of a miso paste. So today we will do a very simple step to achieve the miso and porcini mushroom risotto. Thank you.
After our break, Chef Marco Anzani is going to demonstrate and showcase to us the kind of risotto that he does a la minute and to his palate.
Okay, to achieve the result that we're looking for is we start to use arborio rice. Just stir fry with some butter and onion and reach the hot temperature on the rice. When we achieve that, slowly we will get one of the best wine. White wine is more suggested for this preparation. We will put inside and let it evaporate. We wait in few minutes just to let evaporate the alcohol. At the same time, you testing and you checking if the broth that we already prepared in advance is good on salt. So we need to give you like a test. This is our vegetable broth. It's perfect, ready to go. So we let it evaporate all the wine. At this stage, we need to prepare the dry mushroom, okay, is actually porcini mushroom, with some broth or even hot water to let it to rehydrate. The size of the porcini mushroom is already smaller, so it doesn't need to actually be chopped. If this porcini was bigger than this size, we recommend to actually chop it in 2 or 3 parts. So now our wine is already evaporated. It's the time that we add the water of the porcini and also the porcini together. Make sure that there is no any sediment or any sand. So start to stirring again, reach the boiling stage. Perfect. It's already get the smell of the mushroom. It's very good. We have here some miso paste. The miso is a paste already used a lot in Japanese preparation and some Korean preparation. I like the flavor, especially in the miso soup, but this time I'm gonna use together with the broth in my risotto porcini. So be careful when you use it because it's very strong. So a teaspoon is enough for a generous portion of risotto. So we will add at this stage the paste. We let it dissolve with the rice. Now that the rice is already absorbed the first flavor, we add in approximately half liter of broth. Can be enough. Okay, let him boil in gently. Let's pass to our second preparation. Here we have some fresh seaweed. Like you see, it looks like a small grapes. A lot of people, they like to combine this seaweed with their own sashimi. In that case, I want to try to immerse it to actually fry. So we have already some sunflower oil, already hot. Now we do this preparation, okay, it's like new to combine this kind of seaweed. It's a fresh seaweed, okay, it looks like a little grapes. It's very flavored. The flavor is very strong of the sea. So I will try to pass first in the flour. After to have a light butter tempura and fry. So first let's open up a little bit of all-purpose flour. And voila, so we have already wrapped. The flour will help to all the egg and the other ingredient of the tempura batter to be ready for fry. So dip it one by one. Let's see if the oil is hot. Yes. So one piece by one piece. Just waiting. Let's prepare some paper to absorb the oil. I think the first one, when you get like the goldish color, is ready. So make sure that all the side is going to be golden. Okay, let's take just a few minutes to get it crispy and nice like we had. This is ready. Let's finish up our risotto. Let's see where it is now. Still 2 minutes away. Let's separate the piece by piece. We have a little bit. This is like another kind of salt, okay? It's been flavored with the truffle, so I like it to use a little bit truffle salt to give you some extra saltiness and crispiness to our seaweed pre-fry. We have some fresh dill. Fresh dill also is very good with the seafood. In this case, the miso is recalled the seafood flavor, even if you have the porcini. We just needed to actually broke it or chop it in small pieces. Okay, we incorporate with the risotto. So at this stage, the risotto is ready. We need to reduce the fire and put a little fresh cream or double cream, just a couple of spoons to give you viscosity and creaminess. At the same time, a teaspoon of butter, it will make the cream coming together, so it's going to actually amalgamate all together. Just mix it. Switch it off completely. Give you 1 minute to rest and to let all the flavor of the butter and the cream to come together. At the last, before service, we have some fresh grated Parmesan cheese. Sprinkle on top, a quantity that you will like it. Then make sure that it's dissolved, it's being incorporated inside to the risotto. And this is the risotto we have. So now we pass to plating. We prepare already the plate. I love to present my risotto inside to this nutless shell. It will actually make the plate stand up and become a little bit more fancy, but it's only a presentation. But it's also emerge together with our sea product that we have, like this kind of seaweed. So I want to put like a bunch just next, because when you're going to scoop it and eat your risotto, you would like to actually add a flavor with that. This is the time of the risotto now. So you see it's very creamy and ready. So let's scoop it inside. Don't forget to put also some few pieces of porcini mushroom. I think that is good enough. Let me taste it. Very tasty and present. So this is what I would like to present simply, to have from the sea. The miso is making the strong flavor on the risotto, and we have also the intense flavor of the porcini mushroom. The combination is great. Before actually to serve, let's Remember to put, I love black pepper, so when it's fresh minced, it just gives you the beautiful taste. So here for you, enjoy.
Entering Anzani Restaurant, you're transported to a world, a home away from home because of its cozy interiors. In this evening, I sense a vibrant and excited group of people ready to explore the food and wine experience tonight as we go into the Anzani kitchens, as we take a look into Chef Marco Anzani's brain. And we're also going to speak to the winemaker for tonight for the series of events that's going to explode in our palates. Come follow me. In the Anzani zone. So today I have grabbed Marco Anzani, chef restaurateur of Anzani Restaurants, and he's going to explain to us why tonight is so special. So Marco, what is your menu tonight and what is the theory and basis behind this menu?
Okay, tonight we have a special occasion, okay, is the Zambujeiro wine, okay, is one of the best Portuguese wine. We combine to pour in the wine with a special dish. So we will start with our first dish, okay, it's going to be carpaccio. This time we use ostrich meat. The ostrich meat is going to be combined with an avocado ice cream dressing. We have eatable flour. And of course, we create also a soil being done with a beetroot. So we're gonna have the three flavors combined together. It's gonna be an explosion in your mouth.
Wow.
Combined with the first of our red wine in the night. The second dish is what I would like to propose is actually a mushroom, and we put a little bit of miso paste risotto. Serve it on shell and combine with a crispy, let's say, seaweed. So that is also a combination of different sea flavor and mushroom to result with a new intent of the risotto. The main course, because we have a very powerful red wine, is a 2008 of Zambujeiro selection, and we combine with a beef. Actually, is a US beef sirloin. Okay, it's been served like a tagliata style with a truffle cream. And we will have to combine a new product. Okay, is actually, I hope the people they will enjoy, is actually a sunflower sprout, very fresh, very hearty, where we're gonna make a dressing with a Armagnac cognac. So all of them is gonna be served with a potato nest and combined with actually the three flavor also. For the dessert, it's going to be a simple dessert. We're going to have like a coffee wine jelly served with the two chocolate, white and black, and we will have a ginger ice cream. So that is going to finish the night with a very famous port wine, because like you know, Portugal is very famous of the port wine, so we will have also this addition to our menu.
Wow, how interesting. How is this night very different from all the many meals that you've served in the restaurants, in your a la carte menu? How is this night special, and is it something that is relational to the history of your food?
Not really. Tonight is considered a special night because we actually, for the first time, we introduce here in Cebu, Philippines, Portuguese wine. So we need to try to match the taste of the wine to meeting the food experience. During a la carte in our restaurant, we will have actually is a fine dining, and the majority of the ingredient that we use is always Mediterranean. So we will have we call new Mediterranean cuisine because I like always to create a new dish, a new combination of flavor in our dish. So is to say so, we can also have a special design menu when you can come and call myself or my executive chef to design or make a customized menu for you. It's always our pleasure.
That's always so much fun. Well, I'm looking forward myself to beetroot soil. I'm looking forward to your miso risotto, and so interesting ginger ice cream and all the potato nests. So I think even I, as a foodie, and many of you that are only dreaming about the flavors and combination of all the other food groups can experience something like this in the Philippines. So I will not take up your time.
Thank you.
And we are going to see you soon.
Thank you very much to be in Anzani. I hope to see you soon. Enjoy our special dessert.
With us tonight, we're honored to have Mr. Emil Strickler in Cebu and in our restaurant to showcase as the producer of this beautiful wine. Mr. Emil, thank you for joining us tonight. It's a privilege and a pleasure to meet you in Cebu. I understand that you've traveled the world and now enjoying what great harvest of your wine and all those experiential points that you have. So, Mr. Strickler, I would love to hear about your story.
Yeah, that's a long story. First of all, thank you for having me. And of course, it's not an old business I'm in, although I have started only about 15 years ago with the wine business. I was before contract manufacturing, doing electronics, mechatronics, medical equipment. I had factories in Vietnam, in Malaysia, in Singapore, and in Indonesia. And since about 25 years, I have a holiday house in the south of Portugal, in the Algarve. And that's how actually I started gradually to be interested in wine. We tasted the wine together with my friend, and we find at that time, I mean that's my personal opinion, the wine was quite mediocre. And I thought this could be a challenge for me to prove that Portugal can produce top quality wine because they have a fantastic climate,
Correct.
terroir,
Yeah.
they have fantastic grapes.
What are the grapes?
So-
the grape variety of Portugal's wine.
Yeah, the grapes are typical Portuguese grapes,
Yes.
not known to
No
many
known.
people. So we have Aragonese,
Yes. Yes.
which is, I would say, similar to the Spanish Tempranillo.
Tempranillo, exactly.
And then we have Touriga Nacional, we have Trincadeira, we have Alicante Boucher. That is probably from France, maybe 100, 200 years ago. They imported it from France. But In France, you hardly can find it now, Alicante Boucher. In the Gallarda, for the white one, we have Arinto and Antovache.
Wow.
Yeah.
How interesting that you stumbled literally and fallen in love with wine and grapes.
That's right.
Other than just having your holiday house.
Yeah, that's right. In the meantime, I've sold my business, contract manufacturing business, and I concentrate fully on the wine.
On wine
It's my
business.
passion now,
Exactly.
and it's really a lovely business. I regret that I have not started earlier, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it seems like you are reaping what you have harvested, because I understand your wine has gotten a 97 rating in the Wine Spectator.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm in this lucky situation that I can emphasize only on the quality. It's for me quality, not quantity.
Yes.
I didn't do this business to make a lot of money.
Yes.
I do it to produce something special.
Exactly.
This is my passion, my vision and mission.
Well, for sure, having to enter the Philippines and in Cebu, people have yet to get educated on the palate. But it would be interesting to note how many bottles you produce a year.
I produce about only 120,000 bottles.
Wow.
So about this one, 60,000 plus. This one about 35,000, and this about 7,000 to 8,000 only.
Fantastic.
I could produce, of course, much more, but in order to achieve a high quality, I do a very high yield reduction. That means before the grapes are getting ripe, before they change color, we cut down. So
I see.
instead of leaving about 13 bunches on a wine, we leave only 3 to 5 bunches, depending on the size, of course, of the bunch.
Yeah.
And this gives then the full concentration of the
That
wine.
is true. And I understand, having to have studied your wine, you keep them in French and oak barrels for 4 years. Am I not mistaken?
Not quite. No, this one is actually 1 year in the
1
oak
year,
barrels.
yeah.
These two are 2 years,
2 years.
in French oak barrels. We selected the best French oak barrels. We have tried all kind of barrels. So we have Segre-Moreau and Rousseau. These are really the top of the top. Yeah, but also very expensive. A barrel costs me over €700, which is of course a lot. Can you imagine having a wine cellar, a barrel cellar full of these barrels?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you cross blend? Other than cross blending, how big is your vineyard in Portugal?
The vineyard is about 22, 23 hectares.
And you only keep it through the limitation of the vineyard, or do you buy from other vineyards?
No, I'm running another vineyard for a bank, for a friend.
Okay.
And he is still working, so he has no time.
Yes.
So of course we do everything, the maintenance, taking care about the vineyard. So we know what quality we have, and
That's the only way to control.
we take the grapes over there. So I'm processing probably grapes of 40 hectares, something like that. Yeah.
Wow, that must be picturesque, and I'm sure you don't want to leave Portugal. And after that, just enjoyment of just the grapes and the mixes. So, Mr. Strickler, I just have a question out of curiosity. When you pick the grapes, let's say you pick them in year 2009, and they go through an oaking process, like a French oak, in 2 years of barrel time. How long before you launch it to the market?
I would say since it is 2 years in the barrels and afterwards minimum 1 year in the bottle store, it's more than 3, it's 3 to 4 years until the wine goes into the market. Of course, this goes earlier, the entry level.
Yes.
So, but the other two, it takes time, and of course, it's quite capital intensive too.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, definitely. Absolutely.
I have a very high stock in my cellar.
Yes. Wow, that's amazing. It really shows good things come to those who wait. So you
That's
must
right.
rejoice on your first bottle, which have you stored and kept after 2 years of oak and 1 year of staying
Yeah.
in the store.
Yeah.
And then, do you have a certain date in the time of the year for your brand that you always launch? Is there something that you are Swiss German? Oh,
That's right.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
Swiss
Yeah,
German.
yeah.
And in Portuguese, there must be, like in the Chinese world, we call them feng shui. You know, the energy and a certain date when to launch. Do you have a certain date in the time of the year that you will launch the brand?
Not really, no. Of course, we try to finish the previous vintage before we launch the new one.
Yes.
Otherwise, the people will not order the old one, and
Okay.
we keep the stock.
But
So
considering you only have 120,000 bottles, so that's very small.
it is actually small, yeah, that's right. But of course, we are not a mass producer.
Yeah.
All our wines are handcrafted.
Yes.
It's hand-picked, hand-selected.
Wow.
We even do the remontage, some we do by hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Mr. Strickler, I would love for you to introduce your 4 premium wines to our viewers as it enters in the Philippine territory. I understand you are just launching this in the Philippines, and Cebu will have its first selection of wines in Anzani and to be distributed in Cebu.
That's right, yeah. We appreciate it very much that you
Thank you.
are
So
willing
we
to take it
also
up.
believe in quality, and we believe
Yeah.
in detail and perfection, and somehow your philosophy and our philosophy
It's the
collaborate
same.
with each
Yeah,
other.
I
Yes.
can see it from your beautiful setup here.
So your first wine that you carry for the white, the brand that you carry is 1 or 2 whites that you carry in your.
We carry 2 whites. One, this is normal fermented in still tanks.
Okay.
It's a blend between 2 grapes, Antovache
Undo.
and Arinto. And the other one, we only produce few bottles of that one, is fermented in the oak barrels.
Okay. Also.
So it is a little bit more complex.
Yes.
But this one, I would say, has more fruit, of course, with more tannins and so on.
Yes.
The fruit goes a little bit
Yeah.
down.
better.
Yeah. Then this is basically our entry level. It's called Monte do Zambujeiro. It's a blend. All our wines are blends
Yes.
because I personally think single cepage is too simple. We want to have complex wines, complex structure.
Yes.
And if it's such a just a simple single cepage, it's nice too, of course. It can be nice, but I prefer the complexity of blends.
Definitely.
So this is a blend, of course, of Aragonês, Trincadeira, Tinta Caiada, etc. The base of the Terra do
Terra.
Zambujeiro is Aragonês, and then blend, it depends on the year, because every year is a different year.
Exactly.
We have a year, the Aragonês is super, the Alicante less, then the next year the Alicante is super.
better.
It's
Yes,
every
exactly,
year
exactly.
that makes
That's so
the thing so beautiful, this business.
Yes.
It's not a
It's
routine,
Yes.
it's not boring, every year is completely different. Yeah. And then this is based mainly on Touriga Nacional and on Alicante Boucher. Then, of course, we have 2 French cépages, that's Petit Verdon
yeah.
and a little bit Cabernet. Why do we have these French grapes? Because our acidity
It's very
is
high.
quite low.
It's low.
Our
Oh, I see.
acidity of the Portuguese grapes is relatively low. So to give a little bit more elegance,
Yes.
we blend
Full
it
body,
with
yeah.
Cabernet
Yep, with a strong.
or with Petit Verdon, because these two, they are usually high at acidity, also higher than our grapes.
Well, my personal favorite is this one, and it's fabulous. We opened it a couple of days ago, and I have to say it has smashed all the premium wine, because this is the one that has won all the awards also.
That's right.
Correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I am very curious how your 2015 launch will be. Is it something that we need to look out for, which blend or which bottle, when you release your 2015 vintage?
15 is not
It's not
born
out
yet. No,
No, but-
no. You talk about the 14. The 14 is now, of course, in process.
Yes.
It's harvest. It's fermented. We do now the second fermentation, which is called the malolactic fermentation.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and that is in the barrels. And then we dry when it is 6 months, half a year or so, or to a year in the barrels. Then we do the blend. And then after the blending, it goes back into the barrels again. Because this is also a quality factor. Because if you bottle straight away after the blending, it will never totally integrate. So if you put it back into the barrels for another half a year, then you have the total
Complex
integration.
and like the full
of-
balance
yeah.
of. I learned something new today. How interesting. So you said this is the most recent vintage that got launched, 2009, correct?
Yeah.
So next year's vintage, which is 2010, is only launched this year.
It's probably end of this year, yeah. Yeah, it's almost.
Yeah, end of the year, you're right.
We are running out of the stock, so we are already, I think also the Terra, we are already selling the 10 now, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I understand you also have another premium bottle, which is the Porto. But of course, in Portugal, they're known for the port.
Of course, yeah. I would say everybody knows port wine all over the world. But if you say we have table wine, the people are very much surprised. And this is actually our big challenge, to prove to the people that Portugal can produce world-class wine, which is proven here, you know. They have the terroir, they have sunshine, you know, as example, Bordeaux has maybe around 2,000 hours sunshine. We have over 3,000 hours sunshine.
Wow.
So
So it has all the
we have
ingredients to make.
exactly to
Yes.
make a top quality wine. But the people, especially in Asia, they have to accept that.
educate themselves.
And yeah, we have to educate. But I think also, as example, in the Philippines, the people are ready now to taste different wines, you know. Not only, I mean, I've seen it a few years ago, also in Singapore, of course, the people go for labels. It must be a Bordeaux label. But the people must have the confidence to taste the wine and say, whatever label it is, I appreciate this wine, you know. And after all, a good wine is for you only if you personally like it.
Exactly. Wine is very subjective.
Yeah.
You can say that a Cabernet is a Cabernet, but to a palate of a person, a Cabernet has cherry flavors, when another person would say, no, it's got a burst of other kind of berries.
Exactly.
So to our audience and our viewers, those of you exploring your palate for wine and just wanting to educate yourself, and maybe just even amongst friends or amongst people that you know, we would love to introduce you to the entry-level wine of the Jambujeiro.
Sambuceiro.
Wow, there you go.
Sambuceiro.
I've been corrected.
Yeah.
Jambujeiro.
I know it's a difficult
Right?
word.
I know. And also to a different language or a different culture, it's pronounced very differently. But to the Portuguese, it's called the jambuchero.
Yeah,
Correct?
sambucheiro.
Chero.
Yeah, sambucheiro.
So we would love to taste this wine, and I would like to raise a glass to those of you in the audience exploring your palate, and to those of you about to sensationalize themselves with tonight's dinner. So cheers.
Okay, cheers, and thank you very much.
Thank you
for
for
having
a
me.
great, informative talk about your wine, and
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to maybe one day
Super,
to
yeah.
visit your vineyard.
You must. It's a must. You will enjoy it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks. Okay.
As you can see, the party keeps on rolling. Thank you for joining us on our episode for Food Hunt at the Island Living Channel. I am Kate DeChanco Anzani as your host.
Como dice mi canción,